Wow. Just wow. Holy cow, this was a great episode.
Wow. Wowie wowie. The deer people are a bunch of fruits, but I mean, but they they're good folks. But I was watching this episode, and as soon as they like got to he's talking about the activities and stuff, I felt so bad. But and you got like Florax talking about the glory days, and I'm just like, oh my god, the Chilis are a bunch of fruits now.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And I mean, like,
by the way, your lower third's wrong.
What do you mean it's wrong? Let me see here.
Yeah, you have an F instead of a P.
Oh, son of a... You know what? That still kind of works, damn it.
Yeah, because he's a fucktard.
So, yeah. So this episode... I gotta be honest with you. These Changeling redesigns are starting to kind of come around. I'm starting to come around to them. They're not half bad, especially with the reworked characteristics for them. Like, the design works for Thorax. It was the rest of the species I had problems with, but I'm really starting to come around to them. And the fact that we had another episode with Thorax is awesome. And the other fact that Starlight and Trixie were there, my fucking OTP of the goddamn decade, that was only icing on the cherry pie. She's my cherry pie. So the episode starts out, and I swear I sound like a Farrah Mercy shipper on Tumblr. But the fucking wives are walking along, or the fiancés. I'll settle for fiancés. The fiancés are walking along.
Horse lovers.
The lesbian. The homosexual equinines are they're walking along singing "Do I Did Diddy Dum Diddy Do," making their way downtown, walking fast. What the fuck is the rest of the and I miss you? So they're walking, and Trixie's super pissed that she still can't do a teleportation spell that isn't on accident.
By the way, this right there, that is something that has been annoying me for a while. Let me explain. I was a big fan of the Transformers Armada, Energon, and Cybertron series.
They were sick!
But did you ever notice in Energon and Cybertron, whenever they had to transform, especially Hotshot, he's like, Hotshot, transform! It's like, why are you saying that? That is so stupid. And this episode is just like, teleportation spell go, teleportation spell go. Will you just shut up? And when Starlight said it, it's like, why are you even doing that? You don't have to. It's just like, it's a coping mechanism. I'm just like, you have just made my day with those few lines right there.
I don't know, calling out attacks and transformations. I mean, that's a staple of animation and stuff. I mean,
they should have done it in Dungeons and Discord.
Oh my god, I'm going nerd. So they get it. So they get attacked by Pharynx, and he goes straight for the larynx and throws him in a sack and tries to take him back to the kingdom because he's gonna go bring them. And
nom nitty nom.
So, but yeah, and then she does the teleportation spell. The chemistry between Starlight, Glimmer, and Trixie is awesome. I really need to give credit for. I feel bad. I can't remember Starlight Glimmer's voice actress's name. That pisses me off.
Kelly Sheridan.
Kelly Sheridan. Yeah, it pisses me off because I followed her work for years. She's fucking Songo and Inuyasha, and she's awesome. And her and Kathleen Barr, the chick that voices Trixie, another veteran in the voice acting game. Their chemistry, and I think they record in the same room together because I think everyone records in Vancouver except for Tara Strong because she lives in Los Angeles. Because every goddamn voice actor lives in Canada or Los Angeles, but usually Vancouver, and their chemistry and the way they play off each other is just fantastic, and it's awesome. With each passing episode, they treat their broship more and more like an old married couple, and it makes my old heart just blossom in bloom like a Nirvana song or that Nirvana song, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I do agree with that. So anyway, they get captured by Pharynx, and they're brought over to Thorax, and it's just like, it's okay, Pharynx, they're cool, but it's like, they were sneaking around. I would have bet on them by now, and I'm just like, dude,
that's fucking metal.
So they're trying to find out what the fuck happened. So Trixie and Starlight is just like, well, we can try talking to him since we're kind of reformed villains ourselves. And I like how they're doing that, because it's no longer just, oh, I'm a reformed villain because the show tells me to. It's, I'm going to use that power to help others, you know?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why why Starlight's reformation is done. I mean, I know people go on and forever about Discord's reformation being kind of a dropped ball, so to speak, but it really shows when Starlight like actively goes out and like tries to like better people's lives. I mean, it does make sense that Discord doesn't do it because he was, I don't want to say he was more of a bad guy than Starlight, but he was literally a force of chaotic evil at the very worst.
He was the physical embodiment of chaos incarnate.
Yeah, right. So it makes sense when he's a bit of an asshole, and it makes his relationship with Fluttershy real special, which I get that's the point. But with you have Starlight branching out and doing all this stuff, it makes the redemption arc have like an actual like size and to me more of an impact to it, because and I think it's just written better. So
yeah.
So fuck it. So Steve is talking to Starlight and Trixie, and he's like, yo, what brings you here? And she's like, oh, we're just saying hi, just being bros. And he's like, well, the only problem
bros
here,
before hoes, motherfuckers.
Motherfucker. Well, not in your case. So that
wives before chives.
What wives be? No, dude. It's commitment before brofillment.
Okay, I can see that.
That's the best I got. I'm sorry. So literally the entire Changeling Kingdom just fucking hates Ferrex because he's kind of an a-hole. Well, he's super an a-hole, and they make like no quarter about it. So Trixie and Starlight try to talk to Ferrex, and this was a really good burn, I thought, because Trixie's like, yeah, I used to hate Twilight a lot, and then I went evil, but then I got better. Starlight's like, yeah, I was a dictator, but I got better. And she's like, yeah. And Starlight says, yeah, Trixie learned to be second best, and I learned how to not be a dictator or whatever. And I'm just like, yo, throwing the shade. Hashtag the honeymoon is fucking over. And
hashtag I'm gonna be a fucking bitch because I can.
Hashtag makeup clop. So
makeup clop.
Yeah, I fucking went there. I wish Toon Critic was here. He could have tweeted that.
There's like something that Snakeskin and I do is we don't have like any filters on Derpy Boo, so if something comes up, we can just sit and laugh at it.
Such a bad, horrible, awesome idea.
But there's a picture where like Trixie is just having fun with another stallion and Starlight's just looking into the window. It's like, I don't know if this is a good time to talk about friendship.
Well, it's some type of ship. You could call it companionship.
There you go.
So everyone fucking hates Pharynx. And he's like, you guys sound pretty cool. And they're like, yeah, but we want to help you be a good guy. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you guys were cool, not total fucking wimps.
Not total pussies.
Yeah.
even though
So
you have them.
I know, right? It's like he's like, hey, I'm not being offensive. I'm being hashtag autotomically correct, boy. So Steve comes along. I literally forgot his name. I can't believe this. God, I hate you, DW. I hate you, DWK. You're the greatest YouTuber I've ever fucking known. And Steve is like, hey, how'd it go with Pharynx? And they're like, dude, your brother's a total fucking asshole. What is this? And he's like, yeah, no, it's okay. If you guys are feeling down, let's go to the Feelings Forum. The
Yes, this
Feelings
is the
Forum. This is
best
the highlight of the
scene.
episode.
Okay, you have
This
this
is the
character.
play of the game.
Well, before this, I want to talk
Yeah.
about this real quick. They're being shown around the hive. They have theater, and they are doing Shakespeare. They are doing art sing. Like, what?
Yeah.
What character can
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
shapeshift and
Yeah.
do arts and crafts? And they hold a picture up
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Glimtrix. I'm just like, yes.
They ship it. Play of the game. You know, I don't know if I told you this. I saw it around the time. No, when was it? It wasn't Second Prances, but it was like around the time this. I think it was around the time All Bottled Up came out. I saw someone on Equestria Daily wrote this article talking about how could they / should they canonize Star Treks? And I'm just like, yes, please, 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 por favor. So, Beta. So they go to the Feelings Forum, and this is where it's play of the game. And I'll tell you this: I've gotten 5-man Death Blossoms that aren't as amazing as Reaper, as amazing as this. So they talk to this character. I'm trying to remember what was their coat. Was it light green or were their eyes light green? Because one was blue, one was green. Because that helped the joke.
I think they were like yellow or something like that.
That's right. Well, this one changeling is talking about how sometimes I feel green, like a green changeling. Sometimes I feel like a blue changeling, and the
No,
person,
it's a purple and blue.
purple and blue. That's right. I thought it was green for some reason. So like sometimes I feel like a blue changeling. Sometimes I feel like a purple changeling. But I feel like I'm living a lie. She's like, you could be whatever you want to be. Some days be blue, some days be purple, some days be both. And I literally, I'm on my futon. I'm pausing. I'm watching it on my PS4's YouTube app, and I had to pause, and I had to take off the headphones. I had to sit back, really think about some things. I had to get up. I had to open the door because it's really hot here right now in California. I had to walk down my hall and just really try and process things. So then I come back in the room. I shut the door. I look at the headphones. I look at the image paused in front of me. And I put my head into my hands, and I say to aloud, and I was home alone at the time, I say to myself aloud, they did it! They did it! The changelings invented Tumblr!
And think about it. I can imagine.
That is a color fluid changeling. The Feelings Forum is Tumblr. They're hearting all the shit. They're reposting it. They're hashtagging how I literally expected them to straight up say Pharynx was problematic.
Even better.
Or talk about changeling discourse, John.
Even better.
They invented Tumblr. I died for like 30 seconds. I collapsed and I.
Even better, though. You think about this. I want to know if there is going to be a future episode where they go back to the hive And that same changeling is arguing with another changeling. And the first changeling, the color fluid changeling is just like, did you just assume my color?
Let me try to describe to you, maybe through interpretive meaning, exactly what would be going through my head, what I would be feeling if that happened. What? I'm sorry. The show does stuff to me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Our roommate got pissed. Making too much noise, but I go ham on that pwn game, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on, I'm out of breath. That was a lot of exertion of energy. Holy shit.
No, but that's really funny. And I love how like honestly it kind of reminded me of when I used to work in mental health. We would have those kind of groups to be like, hey, let's talk about how you're feeling and what we can do to help you help yourself, sort of thing. But what I found great was there's a changeling back there that's just like, my soup's too hot. and it's like, what? This is a feelings forum. I thought this was where we talked about our problems. And then a little bit later when everyone's arguing, he's like, "Oh, my soup's good now. This therapy works."
This show just does things to myself. When you said you were working in mental health, I felt like such an asshole. But I literally thought it. The first thing I thought when you said how you worked in mental health, I literally thought to myself, did you just assume my psychological profile? Okay, so I wasted a lot of time. I realized just trying to tell you what I was feeling inside when they did that Tumblr joke, which is funny because I literally just watched that episode right before this one from the Amazing World of Gumball that had the Twitter episode, and that was the Tumblr episode, and that was amazing. So basically, nothing gets solved in true Tumblr fashion. There's a lot of yelling, but nothing gets solved, and Pharynx. And so Trixie and Starlight are like, they leave and they're like, damn, dude. I mean, I hope this doesn't come off as douchey considering you've had 3 chances and I was literally Stalin Hitler for my season 5 debut. But bro, I think Pharynx is kind of a lost cause, dude. And Trixie's like, yeah, man. I mean, like, I realized that I had like an evil amulet and like turned Stips and Snails into my like man slaves and shit. But seriously, Pharynx throwing us in a bag, that's not cool, homeboy. And little do they know, Pharynx is a rock. And I need to tell you this right now. This was a good episode, a great episode. It gets a very high score from me. But Starlight's plan to try and get Pharynx to be accepted by the community of changelings, that was -5 stars because almost everyone fucking died.
But I'll tell you this. So they brought Leaves back to lead this mole thing. I think it's the naked mole rat from Kim Possible found his way into MOP.
Right. I was too busy focused on the wives and Tumblr. I forgot about the main conflict of this episode was that stupid monster thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
they have you go.
So they have Leaves that they're trying to leave it back so that Pharynx can protect his brother because there's a flashback where he does protect Thorax. And I'm just like, that was super cute. I was honestly thinking of Zootopia at that point. Just really thinking about it. So then he goes back and he's like, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Those guys are right, you know. You need to be better at this. And I'm just like,
in true older brother fashion.
Yeah, see, in that regard, it makes a little bit more sense because you can see that his brother still cares for him, even though it comes off as kind of dickish.
Like true older brother fashion.
Exactly. So that happens, and they're trying to do that so that Pharynx can come save the day and turn good from that. And so they go out to the mole thing. And
Rufus, that was the mole rat from Kim Possible.
Rufus. What's even better, though, is Trixie spills the beans that Starlight was going to say that, you know, we just got to kick him out. And Thorax is pissed, obviously. So what they do is Thorax is like, you both are coming because you both made a fucking mess. And I'm going to have to clean up your shit now. But right before, Starlight goes in and does the most epic speech in existence. Like, you guys used to be hunters. Just because you have feelings now doesn't mean that you can go and just completely say no to that now.
You guys used to be a bunch of fucking badasses. You were Raider fans in the black hole every Sunday in Oakland, and now you guys root for the fucking Chargers. You're a bunch of bitches now.
Pretty much.
So are you going to let your homie get massively murdered by a bunch of pissed off 49er fans? Or are you going to saddle up and petition that the AFC let the Niners and Raiders play against each other again instead of once every 4 years? And are we going to do this? Which, by the way, the Raiders have a 1-game lead on the 49ers. Suck it, Kaepernick! And so they're Trixie. This was great. It cuts to Trixie, and she's like, "Oh my God, Starlight, that was such an amazing speech. It was so hot. Too bad the changelings like didn't fucking care." I love just how more blunt, and we keep talking about self-aware, but I just love how blunt they've gotten with the comedy, especially in situations like this, where and it helps that Trixie and Starlight are the type of friends to do that, where like they're super bro, but they'll also bust each other's balls at any given second. And so they find Pharynx, and he's fighting Rufus, and they're like, dude, we thought you could handle it, and he's like, yeah, with the rest of the hive, you dumbass. So the rest of the hive shows up, and Trixie again is like, "Oh wow, see, I told you it was a great speech.
Yeah.
I told you it was a great speech, Starlight-chan." Which is great.
Oni-chan.
No, that's sister. Oh, but please, Aniki. So they beat the thing, and I really like this end of the episode, but they kind of pussed out at the end because Pharynx, he's super cool now. He changes and stuff.
But like his motivation to not be good actually makes sense. He was the military leader.
Yeah.
You can still be the military leader and lead our charge on. We're just going to be a little nicer now.
Oh no, that wasn't where they. No, that was great. That wasn't where they. That wasn't where they wimped out on. What they wimped out on was Thorax actually calling Starlight out on her bullshit, and like how it was a horrible plan and she did not exercise proper communication. And Trixie totes threw her under the bus, but then she's like, "Hey, Pharynx."
Like, I'll tell you this. I loved Trixie for the majority of this episode. When that line hit, I was like, no, fuck you. Fuck you, Trixie.
Well, they're trying to give him like a Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck type of dynamic, where one of them's the straight everyday man and the other one's kind of the douchey friend that always sticks around, except unlike Mickey and Donald, these two fuck. So, So I get that. So that made sense. But yeah, even I was kind of like, dude, what a dick. But then they wimped out. She's like, hey, Pharynx, want to give us a distraction to end the episode on? He's like, oh yeah, so I totally used to make my brother hit himself and gave him a bunch of psychological hang-ups, right? My Little Pony. I'm like, oh, you assholes. Come on. But you know what? I mean, better they tease addressing criticism about a character than pretend to and then just make the fan base try to feel like assholes. Looking at you, Teen Titans Go.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right? Oh, so some dude that was born in the 90s doesn't like Teen Titans Go. What a fucking shock. But you know what? Yeah, I'm just another one. The only difference is I have a signed John Cena poster on my wall, but that's something, damn it. So yeah, this was a good episode. John told me his score before he was that stoked to talk about it. He told me his score before we started recording. And this is I think the first time I've rated a Starlight episode lower than him. I gave this one a 2. No. I gave it a 9. Because and it's such a minimal thing, but I actually didn't like, because similar to how he didn't like that Trixie line at the end, I didn't like how they actually kind of in my opinion, wimped out on the end of actually giving Starlight a good talking to, or about her messing up, and they kind of overlooked that and being on a joke. I don't like it when any show does that. There's a lot of shows over the years that have done that. Coincidentally, quite a lot of them that Lauren Foss has made. I mean, obviously, she had no creative input in this one. I'm just saying, Lauren Foss and Craig McCracken are great for making memorable characters, but they're not too great with consistently developing them. If I'm gonna state my opinion, but yeah, I give it a 9, mostly because of that. But honestly, I don't think I've said this much. There's no reason to dislike the episode. There's plenty of reasons to really like it, but really liked it, almost bordering on loved it. Didn't quite love it, but it was really, really good.
Yeah. I give this a 9.5 because this is just shy of a 10 because of that talking to at the end. Where Trixie just throws Starlight under the bus. That pissed me off.
Reminds me of Brian.
Oh,
love you, buddy. He's got to come out to Cali sometimes. He would fit right the fuck in. I swear to God.
He was at BabsCon a couple times.
Oh yeah, that's right. Baxter should have hooked me up with a ticket. But yeah, anyway, you give it a 9.5 because it's awesome.
Yeah, for the most part, it's very awesome, and I enjoyed this immensely. So, next week's episode apparently is a Daring Do episode. I'm excited.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. They seem to have one every season now, which is cool. Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
All right, that's it from me, John.
And me, how do you say snakeskin in Spanish? And me, the fat one.
Snako Skino 94.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
And we will talk to you guys later. Peace out, Dragon.
Too sweet.